President Biden is in Philadelphia today as he tries to ease concerns about his age.
WGN's Gaynor Hall reports on where things stand at the start of a crucial week.
We have to bring back dignity and hope in America.
The president working to sway voters in the key battleground state of Pennsylvania following an exclusive ABC interview.
I don't think anybody's more qualified to be president or win this race than me.
That some top Democrats say was not enough to dispel concerns after his debate performance.
I'm not advising this campaign, but if I were, I would probably suggest that the president get out there and do a town hall, that he do a press conference, that he show the country that he is still the old Joe Biden.
A handful of House Democrats, including Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, have publicly said Biden should step aside, but conversations continue behind closed doors.
Joe Biden is running against a criminal. It should not be even close, and there's only one reason it is close, and that's the president's age. And what I would say, Kristen, what I would advise the president is seek out the opinions of people you trust.
Former President Donald Trump has not faced calls from Republicans to drop out of the race despite his felony convictions. Last week, the Trump campaign celebrated the Supreme Court presidential immunity decision, and the former president tried to distance himself from the Heritage Foundation after this comment from its leader.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
The foundation's Project 2025, a proposed governing agenda Democrats have labeled extreme, includes plans to expand the power of the presidency.
The Heritage Foundation does a lot of good work. It does a lot of things that I disagree with, a lot of things that I agree with. But the Heritage Foundation is a nonprofit organization that works on public policy, and I think it's an important part of how D.C. functions and operates.
The president's allies drawing sharp contrasts between the candidates and what they say could be a critical week for the Biden campaign.
This is not a beauty contest. It's not a Grammy Award contest. It is a contest of who stands with the vast majority of the people of this country, the elderly, the children, working class, the poor. And that candidate is obviously Joe Biden.
Gaynor Hall, WGN News.